Oh, hello, and welcome to my channel. Vice Rhino here. Cirrus over there.
Hello.
I'm gonna let Cirrus fill you in on stuff because he just scared the shit out of me, so I'm checking things.
Fair. Okay, so for those of you who do not know, hold on, let me get my stuff set up to where when I record this, it'll actually work. There we go. Alrighty, so just a small announcement for y'all. If you did not know, recently Patreon changed the way that it does its payment processing. So apparently there was some kerfuffle with Apple and them wanting like 30% extra more from Patreon, and they did not want Patreon doing their per creation charge system anymore. They wanted them strictly sticking to a per month system, and I was told, at least the information that I had found, said that that had been reversed and that we would be keeping our per creation system and everything, and that would be fine. But last month, I got about $550 less from Patreon than I normally did. I thought that that was a fluke. I said, okay, cool. Let me check my videos. Oh, it looks like they removed the charge for a creation option on desktop, so maybe I just only charged for 3 creations last month, and that would explain where that payment discrepancy is. I've made that mistake before.
Yeah,
That seems to be
too. That's not a fun one.
Yeah, that's a mistake that I've made before, and it sucks, but I've made it. And then this month I got paid about the same amount that I did last month. And I looked and saw that, oh, well, there's 4 things charged instead of 3. I've done all of my stuff correctly, but the numbers still look the same, which means I think at least in some level of rollout, some creators are being caught in the actually you're a per monthly, even if you're charging for every video style of creator. And that's just simply what you are now. I do not know the specific details on there. I'm not an expert. All I know is this is where I am at right now. So this is 2 months in a row where I've gotten 550 less than normal, and that's definitely put me behind on finances. This is not a call to action to throw money at me. This is simply me saying this is the current situation of things. I do have a new piece of merch that's going to be coming out later on today, and that would be amazing if you guys want to pick that up. Again, don't have to. Just wanted to let you guys know Patreon's apparently changed their stuff on the back end, and it's affecting creators on the front end now. So yay.
I don't seem to have suffered that effect yet,
Okay.
but this is the first that I've heard of it, so now I'm worried that that is going to affect me later. Anyway. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it's a thing that I was hoping was actually like officially reversed, but it looks like that's happened with me because I took screenshots of all of my stuff and threw them at some of my other creator friends, and I was like, so this is what my finances look like now. In case y'all want to know, or in case y'all are wondering why things may start looking a little different, they look that different for me too. So yay.
Yeah, keyword yet. If there's one thing I've learned about these big platforms is that stuff like this gets rolled out gradually.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
If you go and watch any of my short content, you'll see that I have now been AI-ified against my will.
Oh, do you have the AI dubbing that happens over shit?
No, not the AI dubbing. I'm actually okay with the AI dubbing for other languages. Thanks for the hats. Sakura. I think it's Sakura.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually okay with the translate to a different language than auto dub in the native that uses, like, I have watched videos with that, and yes, it is trash, but there's been videos with like informational content that I'm interested in that I would not otherwise have had access to because it's just not my language.
Fair.
So since that is a feature that has benefited me as a viewer, and I'm a viewer in what is probably the most dominant language on the platform, and it still benefited me. So I imagine that is of great benefit for other people. And like, yeah, not a fan of the AI dubbing. I understand that because like the AI dub was trash. It like the inflections are all wrong. I can't trust that the translation is actually 100% accurate, and there's some stuff that just doesn't make sense. But like on balance, like I can't ignore the fact that it made content accessible to me that would not otherwise have been accessible to me that I did find valuable. So like,
That is one of the few things that I am like, one of the few things that fantasy novels and literature and just fantasy shows have sold me on is that having an auto dubber that people can just like have in their ear is
the
really,
Babelfish.
really fucking helpful.
Yeah. Now, being powered by AI, I absolutely do not trust that it is actually going to be like as good as they want it to be. But like,
But it's in a state where it's better than nothing.
yeah. So I'm cautiously optimistic about that one. However, what I'm talking about is YouTube has applied like an AI. I don't want to call it upscaling, but I don't know what else they were trying to accomplish with this. But there's like all of their shorts content has an AI filter on it. Not all of it, but at this point, most of it. They claim that it's not all of it, but it seems like most of it. And it just makes everything look like trash. Like I had a comment on a short of mine from like just 2 years ago where the person was like, "Wow, Rhino looks so much younger." And then I watched it and was like, "No, I don't. I just look like trash," because they like completely smooth out all the facial features.
That's gross.
And it's the teeth get all weird and nasty, the eyes get all weird and nasty. It's particularly bad in like if you get like old TV content from like the 90s that like best quality recordings are in 480p,
Mm-hmm.
and it tries to upscale that stuff, it's just absolutely the worst. It's just complete trash, and I hate it. And I know that they're just trying to normalize the AI look so that when you create AI shorts using their AI short creation tool that they're rolling out, it's not going to immediately rub people the wrong way, because that's just how all of it looks now. And I hate it. I wish I could opt out.
Sidebar.
I do not wish to have digital Botox applied to my videos.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, that's yikesy. Apparently.
Oh, don't get me started on what they did to the mayor. What it did to the mayor of Chicago. Let's just say he's a black man, and it started applying a black eraser.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Well, that's the thing, is because the cis white straight male is the most studied body on the planet, scientifically speaking. Um, and that includes for like machine learning shit. AI looks at a black person and says, "Oh, that skin is darker than it's supposed to be."
That's a flawed white person.
Yeah,
Let's fix that.
and that's gross. That's gross as fuck, and I hate it. So
AI is just sitting there going, blackface, that's offensive. Whiteface, that's where it's at.
Fennec says the AI is Mormon. Mormon. It's going for white and delightsome. Do
AI
you know
sitting there
that doctrine?
going, yes,
The
the
one where
doctrine where like the curse of Cain is actually what causes blackness in people, and so they weren't allowed into the church.
well, for the longest time, it was an actual teaching of the church that black people could become white by becoming better people.
Oh my God.
Like that was actually their doctrine, was like, you are black because you are a bad person. So if you want to be white, you need to be a better person. Like, and that stuff came out of the official doctrine of the church shockingly recently, like 1970s. And oh, you still that's still doctrine in Mormon heaven, you still become white? Oh fuck.
And I can't wait until the day comes where all of my black brethren will be born again into beautiful white bodies. Sorry, I had to channel my Southern Baptist preacher. Yeah, it's horrible. It's yikesy as fucking shit.
This is the worst timeline.
Yeah.
No, this is actually no. I was gonna say this is the second worst timeline, because in the worst timeline we all died of the nuclear fallout from the war. But then I'm like, no, that might actually be the better timeline.
So the timeline in Fallout where we went to war with China and it escalated into a nuclear war and now we're here. Yeah. That's our better option.
Yeah.
I don't disagree on principle. Gary.
Oh, they worship gay unicorn Gary.
Gary, you should get you need to get a recording or like the voice files of all of the different characters screaming Gary and use it as an advertisement for the gay unicorn.
They all
Gary
worship
sales.
gay unicorn Gary, whose holy merch can be bought at merch.vicerhino.com.
What do you worship? Gary. Gary.
See, I know some things about video games that aren't Hollow Knight or Silksong.
Yeah, but you know that because you watched the H Bomber Guy video. you know that one because you watched Fallout 3 is garbage, and here's why.
Maybe. Wait, didn't he bring up the Gary thing in the New Vegas is Genius and Here's Why video?
He might have brought it up in both of them as like hey, here's one of the few things that Fallout 3 did really well. Because, like, in the Fallout 3's garbage video, he did go over things that were good.
Thank you for resubscribing, Freedom Inc.
Oh, well.
And Olivia Williams for $5 says the white and delightsome is from the Mormon church and is different from the Curse of Ham. It's related to the Lamanites. Yeah, but I thought the Lamanites, in order to become white and delightsome, had to become better people. I don't know. I feel like those are, like, different but related. They stem from the same fetid, gross fertilizer garden thing, whatever. I don't know. No comment? You're just gonna let me die on that?
Yep, I'm just gonna let you die on that hill.
Okay, no, it's not dying on a hill. Oh, I didn't fucking pull the clip. And I didn't pull the tweet either, but Ted Cruz said that we need to stop attacking pedophiles.
Is it because his daddy is one?
Oh, did you not see the clip?
No, I haven't.
So, in his defense, he clearly misspoke. However, he did not notice that he misspoke, and he just kept on going. So I feel like it was more of a Freudian slip than anything. But like he was like, oh, let's get bipartisan. So like we can all agree that we want to stop rape. We can all agree that we want to stop murder. We can all agree that we want to stop attacking pedophiles. And what he meant to say was stop pedophile attacks or something like that. But he said stop attacking pedophiles, and then he did not correct himself.
It's way funnier the way that he said it.
It is, but
We should all
it is,
agree we should stop
and
attacking
he has been
Trump.
voting against releasing the Epstein files, so it tracks.
Yeah, it's like, look, if he wants us to not misunderstand, maybe his actions should align with the words he's hoping that we thought he said.
Well, it's like, did you see the clip of Jesse Waters and Greg Gutfeld? So you saw the clip where Jesse Waters said, "Let's bomb the UN."
Yes.
So in response to the backlash they got from that, Jesse Waters and Greg Gutfeld are like, "I knew as soon as I said it that like some leftist somewhere was gonna not realize it was a joke and they were gonna like get all upset and blah blah," and they started laughing about it. And like, okay, so joking about bombing things, so let's just fucking bomb the Fox News building. That's a joke. It's a funny joke.
It's a joke.
It's a funny joke. So they're going to be okay with me saying that, right?
The idea of it makes me laugh. Therefore,
they're good. They're okay. They would be okay if MSNBC called for the bombing of the Fox News building, right? Because it would be a joke. Because surely they won't be hypocritical about it.
Ivana Dragmeyer says, and we can all agree that dear old Zodiac Killer just wants to fuck kids, as a joke, as a funny joke, as a meme.
Just a joke.
Jesus Christ! It's just a prank, bro.
Oh, okay.
It's just a prank.
How old is he now? 7 or 8? I forget whether he's 7 or 8. But he's gotten into saying "bro" all the time.
Bruh.
Bro. And I was playing Minecraft with him the other day, and every time I did something wrong, I'd be like, "Bro, what are you doing? Bro, come on, bro." So I started doing the thing where, like, if I tell him to stop saying bro, he's just going to say it more to bug me. So yeah. I went the other way, and I lean into it to be the dorky dad. So, like, every time he said bro to me, I'd be like, "Bro, what? Bro, come on, bro.
Come on, bro."
So, like, if I lean into it and make it super cringy, he's just not going to be interested in saying it anymore, right? That's the theory.
Or he's going to think, my dear old dad is hip with the times. I can't finish that. I can't finish that with a straight face.
Someone's telling me not to look up Very Tall Bart Kirk OITP on Blue Sky.
I think you should, because Very Tall Bart is great.
I don't know what YTP stands for.
YouTube poop.
Oh, what is that?
YouTube poop is when you take a piece of media and you cut up all of the instances of that piece of media in order to form different sentences from what the characters are saying.
Oh.
And you usually do it in a comedic way. So just like Very Tall Bart made a video where it's Dennis Prager going, "I love killing babies."
Okay.
And it's just a lot of that type of thing. Like, let's make people together say weird and strange things because it's funny.
Yeah, it's not coming up immediately, so I'm not going to sit here and just spend time Googling. I mean, there's a YouTube thing. Oh, it got taken down from YouTube. And they said to go to my Blue Sky. Okay, here we go. Okay, well, if it got taken down from YouTube, maybe I shouldn't play it here, since I'm on YouTube.
It's parody.
Yeah, but
I've been taken down for making a YouTube poop before. I made a YouTube poop of Steven Anderson calling himself the gayest man in the world, and that got me in trouble years ago. I mean, and then eventually they put it back up.
With how much he thinks about gay people, it would not surprise me if he were. Like, you don't find straight people fixating that much on gay people. Like, a straight man does not think about where gay men put their penises as much as someone like Steven Anderson does.
It's true. He does think about it a lot.
Yeah.
It's strange. Why would he think about it so much? I'm not angry that he's thinking about it. I just think it's weird.
It feels like internalized homophobia. Like, I
It's
can
so
understand
internal that
where
it's a
that.
penis inside him.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Let's do the news. Some of it is depressing, but we do have some not necessarily a high note, but we're gonna end on something fun tonight. So
Okay.
there's a
I
lot
wanna-
of
I wanna
depressing
see
stuff
what
to
we
trudge
got.
through, but there is a fun thing at the end.
Okay.
Oh,
What,
wait,
what
no.
we got? What's going on?
Oh yeah. So just so everybody knows, my Stream Deck OBS updated today, and the Stream Deck doesn't work with it anymore. Apparently, I probably just need to uninstall it and reinstall it, but I didn't feel like doing that 5 minutes before the stream started. So
Yeah.
there will be times when I'm like pushing buttons over here, going like, "Why the fuck isn't it happening?" So just so you know.
I skip a lot of OBS updates just to avoid this shit happening.
Well, so I did it early. I made a short today because okay, I have to share this with people.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. Actually, no. Maybe I can do the images. Yes, I can do the images. You know what? Fucking A. Just a second.
You good over there, buddy?
I am good over here. I'm just thinking of how best to do this. And where the fuck did I save them? I have pictures I want to share. Nope. Nope. Not there. Someone's doing things. People are doing things. What do I need to... Hats! That was Conton 83. Thanks for distracting me in the middle of my fucking trying to find files, Conton 83. But yes, thank you for the hats. And a hydrate. Yeah, my water's over here.
The wettest of sounds.
I can make wetter sounds. But I have misophonia, so I'm not going to subject you to that.
And the ambassador says, my thing is, what would he consider honest mistakes? Also, I wonder if he believes that someone can be harassed to take their own life.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the articles. Why is that even up? That is not the right window. It is the right window. I just first... Okay. So that's going to be our first story. But before we get there, I am going to... Oh my god, why is it so big? Alright, so we're going to look at some Answers in Genesis video titles. And these, I cannot stress enough that these were 3 videos that were put out in a row, directly one after the other, no content in between them. Video 1. I convinced ChatGPT God is real using math, science, and logic. Like, okay, you can convince it of anything using just saying, but it's true though. Fennec says at least it wasn't adult content. Yeah, you guys weren't here for that, but before the stream started, I talked about how, like, I'm not Nick Fuentes. I don't have porn open in my windows when I'm streaming because I know I'm completely inept, so I'm liable to show something I'm not supposed to. So I'm not going to have stuff just open that will get my stream taken down. Also, if you guys saw my Pornhub history, you'd probably be disappointed at how boring it is. Like that's the shame that I feel, is that I'm not into the weird things that you all probably think I'm into.
I mean, it's way funnier if you were into the weird stuff.
It is, which is why I play up that I might be into the weird stuff, but I'm really not. I'm sadly vanilla. But yeah, anyway, he convinced ChatGPT that God is real by basically saying, but God is real though. Next video.
He did the thing where you just vehemently believe in something and then tell ChatGPT it, and eventually it just echoes your beliefs.
He started with, we're going to use logic and rationality though. So clearly ChatGPT used logic and rationality. And what's great though, like I watched this video. I didn't watch all 3 of them, but I watched this one, and like he starts it with like, yeah, ChatGPT can be wrong sometimes, it can hallucinate sometimes, but we're just going to do this thing. And then every time it agreed with him, he like smirked at the camera like, see the super smart robots on my side. So it's like, really, bro? Come on bruh. Come on, bruh. Bro, come on.
Bro.
I'm sorry. I'll stop saying bro. It actually really bothers me.
It really bothers you?
Yeah.
Then why'd you start?
Because I have a kid
Bro,
who does it,
come
and
on.
if I do it, it won't be cool anymore, so he'll stop doing it. That's my whole goal.
I don't think you can affect the social zeitgeist that way.
No, but I can affect it for him. But yeah, so second video is I convinced ChatGPT atheism is irrational using strict logic. Like, okay, if you convince it that God is real, then of course it's going to say that atheism is irrational, whatever. And obviously it's just going to agree with you. Like, I think they published this before, like timeline wise is pretty close. It wouldn't surprise me if they were using GPT-4, where it basically just agreed with everything. Like, it sucked your dick as hard as it could in GPT-4. So basically, if it, like, and Calvin is incapable of asking it questions that don't have a bias inherent to the question. So it detected that bias and was like, yes, of course you are correct. But then immediately after publishing these two videos in a row, the next and I cannot reiterate this enough. Every time ChatGPT agreed with him, he gave the camera a smug, like, see, smart robot knows what's up.
Smart robot knows God real.
Yeah, but then the next video. You want to guess what the next video was, Cirrus? Only guess if you haven't seen my post. Very next video that they post.
It's the post that you posted in our chat, right?
I probably sent this to the chat.
Then I'm not gonna guess.
Okay. Very next video that they posted. ChatGPT admits to willingly spreading verifiably false information.
Yep.
So it's like, first two videos are like, see, God's real, ChatGPT said so. Very next video, ChatGPT admits to lying to people.
So God's
you
God
didn't
real.
Fucking see it. You tripped over the finish line and then didn't notice that you finished the race. Like, what the fuck, man?
God real.
Oh man. It's just,
would that be a new type of short form content? God reels?
I mean, it's not new. It already exists.
God reel.
Yeah, I heard the pun.
But that's all that they're saying. That's all they're saying is that God real.
You've been a bad little girl and you're getting a vigorous spanking right now.
That's for the pun. Olivia Williams for $2 says, I'm curious if that would work with consensus AI. I don't know. I've never even heard of consensus AI. This is news to me.
Yeah, I don't know what that is because I have, friends.
Have y'all seen Digital Hammurabi's Dial of Deity shorts? They make my day every time. Okay. No, I have not. And now I'm kind of offended because Dr. Josh and Megan are, I would call them close friends. The fact that I didn't even know that was a thing they did, I'm a little offended now. But that's okay. We don't promote our own content between each other.
You're getting a vigorous spanking now.
You're getting a vigorous spanking because you've been a bad girl.
I thought your soundboard wasn't working. No, the soundboard's working. It's the Stream Deck that's not working. Soundboard's fine.
Everything's computer.
Dr. Josh, you mean Discount Hovind? He is the brand name Hovind. Hovind is Discount Hovind compared to Dr. Josh.
No.
He does Hovind better than Hovind does.
No, Discount Hovind is an old series that I stopped doing 5 years ago.
Discount Hovind is Matt Powell.
What's funny is that I never did a Discount Hovind video with Matt Powell in it, because there was an apologist who called himself like Eye to Eye, and all he could do, the only things he could do were quote Kent Hovind. He could not do anything other than just that. So he was Discount Hovind.
I forget who it was, but there was one guy that I called Sexy Hovind because he was a male model and he was a really good looking guy, but like he also made creationist content, and that was all he did was quote Kent Hovind bullshit. And it was hilarious, but it was like, you know what? He is more pleasant to look at than Kent Hovind, so I'm going to cover him for a little while.
All I'm saying is it's time for us to play Bonk and Atheist with water.
Eye to Eye, the classic song from a Goofy movie. I don't remember that song, but I did watch a Goofy movie.
Goofy movie's a really good father-son flick.
It's also
Think about the hydrate stuff.
It's a surprisingly competent movie for what it is.
Well, yeah, it's a father-son road trip movie. Like that's a super simple concept to make
Yeah, I know,
really
but
enjoyable.
it's also like it's a movie that like it was never expected to do well. It's just kind of a riffing on or whatever, but like they actually put enough effort in. Oh no, I've got my alerts are too high. Olivia Williams for $5 says Consensus is an AI-powered academic search engine that uses natural language processing to search and summarize information from peer-reviewed research. That sounds interesting. I will have to look into that. Basically, that's like what I use ChatGPT for now is almost exclusively as a glorified search engine. Like, it's good at finding videos for me to respond to, and by good at, I mean it almost never actually finds what I ask it for, but it will find something.
That's kind of what happens with it when I've used it in the past.
So like I'll be like, just find a 10-minute video trying to promote creationism that would be good for Vice Rhino to respond to.
And it gives you a 35-minute video.
No, it'll give me like a 2-hour-long sermon or something. And I'm just like, no, man, that's like... And it's, like it'll say, as it links to the 2-hour video, that like, here is a 10-minute video. Like, that's not 10 minutes. That is not fucking 10 minutes. But it's also good for like... It doesn't work all the time, because I don't know if there's something wrong with it searching transcripts. But it can also be good for, like, if I need to find something that I've referenced in the past, I can be like, search Vice Rhino's videos for when he said this. But
just scream at ChatGPT, do you have a concept of time?
Don't YouTube's recommendations do a better job at suggesting videos? No, they do not. They are garbage.
No.
And YouTube search is garbage. Like, if you search for something on YouTube, it'll give you 4, maybe 5 results that are actually relevant to the search that you did, and then it goes on to recommendations based on the algorithm that has nothing to do with the search. Like, even to find YouTube videos, like, if you want to search YouTube without using ChatGPT, do it through Google. Just do a video search for whatever you're looking for, and you'll find much more relevant results than if you use YouTube's search feature. I don't know what they did to that thing, but it's just, it doesn't work.
You are now imagining Goofy's O-face.
Why am I imagining Goofy's O-face?
Because Goofy movie is proof that Goofy hucks.
I mean, yeah. But just because we know that someone had a kid doesn't mean we have to imagine their O-face.
You don't understand, Max. Your father doesn't have sex. He doesn't make love. Your father fucks.
Oh, yuck. You know you're just giving Stoff ammo. Right?
No, I'm not.
And Fennec says, "Sirs, please receive Christ." Yes, no, Goofy is going to make it into your canon through Stoff.
Gideon says that sounded Max. Do you like propane?
And propane accessories? Ooh! No, I can't do voices. I do voices about as well as Ted Cruz does voices.
Oh, I get it, Max.
Have you seen
use this charcoal to trick the customers. The real propane's in the back.
Have you seen the video of Ted Cruz trying to do the Simpsons characters?
No, I haven't.
Oh my god. Okay. This might... No, we're not going to tweets. No, stop it. Okay, this is what happens when I don't have my buttons. God damn it.
Are you saying it pushes your buttons?
No, I'm saying I can't push my buttons. So everything's going wrong. Ted Cruz Simpsons impressions.
Goofy Pogs at climax.
He what's at climax?
He makes the Poggers face.
It's the Poggers face.
Just Google it.
I don't wanna.
That is unfortunate.
No, pause. Okay, you know what? The Daily Show had a compilation, so I'm gonna go for their video and hope that it doesn't get me immediately copyright struck. I'm sorry, guys. This is a little bit boring, but it'll be... Oh, no, what is... Hey, Facebook.
You're so good at this. Oh, that was RFK.
Okay, okay. So, I'm going to add here again. Do not make it visible this time. Let me crop it first.
And then it can be a crop top.
Your audio. Oh yeah, I didn't really think this through. I can't really studio mode. I can do it in studio mode. Boop.
Skibbity bop boop dada.
Skibbity bop. Boppity boop.
This is Rhino. We are so far past the point where the joke will land.
Past the point of no return.
No, we're just
no second chances.
We are just past the point.
Okay, here we go. I think we're ready. Hopefully this will actually come through. Chapter 2. Cranked, so let's turn it down.
But Dad, I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat animals. But Lisa, animals are so delicious. There's the animal we get bacon from, the animal we get ham from, the animal we get sausage from.
So what do you think so far?
He doesn't even try.
Like, that doesn't even sound a little bit like... Oh, come on. You guys aren't hearing the audio? Fuck. The little bar thingies on my thing are going boop, 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 boop.
You've done such a good job at this. I'm so proud of you.
Okay. Advanced audio properties. Window capture 2, monitor, and output. If that doesn't do it, I don't know what will. So let's
they hear it over on my end.
Dad, I'm a vegetarian.
Now it's echoey. Oh, Paige Wilder said I heard it just fine. So people are just lying to me. Don't watch the stream muted or something. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Window capture 2, monitor off, so that way it's not going to be echoey.
Vegetarian. I don't eat animals. The animal we get sausage from? Dad, that's all the same animal. Smithers, release the hounds.
Like, not even trying.
Excellent.
I think there's more.
It's
But
not even entertaining.
oh yeah, he does Star Wars.
The force is strong with this one. There is no try. Do or do not.
Okay. I occasionally do voices, but I know that I'm bad at them. I would never do a voice to say, hey, look what I can do. It's always just, hey, look at what an idiot I am.
Do you think he does that at parties?
I think he does.
Do you think he sucks at parties?
I think he does. Yes.
Do you think he sucks?
I think he does.
Do you think he sucks at parties?
Yes. I think he does.
Do you think people are appreciative of him sucking
I
at
think
parties?
he's bad at sucking at parties.
Are you saying that a man with a penis doesn't understand how to pleasure another man's penis at parties?
Ted Cruz? I'm not going to
I think Ted Cruz is a selfish lover.
I am not going to I'm not going to start with the assumption that Ted Cruz has a penis. I think he's an alien wearing human skin. So there might not be a penis there. So he might be bad at sucking penis because he doesn't know what to do with it because he doesn't have one. Because he's an alien wearing a human skin.
And the ambassador says he's Canadian. You're right.
I know he's Canadian, but he's from Alberta, so that barely counts. Sorry, Paul. Sorry, Paul.
Unfortunate. Next, you'll tell me that Nova Scotia's not real.
Unfortunately, he has children, so we have proof that he has had sex. No, we have proof that he has he has spread his genetic material. That does not mean that he had sex.
We have proof that he has inseminated.
If he's an alien wearing human skin, there might be technology where he can use like just a sample of his blood or something to turn it into reproductive cells or something.
Man, the Ted Cruz extended universe is wild.
Alberta is indeed the Texas of Canada.
Bean T Arachnid says Ted can't suck because he won't shut up. I mean, his mouth has to stay open at least a little bit around the. Never mind. I'm done.
Okay, why is that even? That should not be up.
I've lost the plot of where we're supposed to be now.
We're supposed to be talking about Elon Musk starting Grokpedia.
So we're on to the next thing.
No, this is the first thing.
Oh, this is what we were trying to do this whole time?
This was the first news item. We're at the first news item, man.
Okay, so Grokpedia, yeah, totally.
This was sent to me by an anonymous source. Elon Musk wants to replace Wikipedia with
Grokpedia.
With Grokpedia, an AI-based Wikipedia based on his AI. And they say that so David Sachs, who is he made a post that Elon included in his announcement of Grokpedia, where he said Wikipedia is hopelessly biased and run by an army of left-wing activists. Here's the thing: I found Wikipedia to be incredibly accurate. It's just that reality has a left-leaning bias.
Yeah, you beat me to it.
Sorry.
I'm sorry that reality is hard to cope with, but it turns out, generally speaking, in 2025, the left cares more about reality than the right. Never mind, I'm not sorry about that. I'm going to gloat on somebody's grave about that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's basically, like, there's not much to this story. It's just he wants to start a Wikipedia. Whether or not he actually does is anyone's guess. I mean, he might make an attempt.
But, I mean, it's Elon Musk. He says he's going to do things a lot.
Yeah, he says that Teslas will be full self-driving by next year, and he said that every year since 2014.
I just can't wait until next year. Next year is just a week away.
Mm-hmm. But that's the trick of late-stage capitalism. You got to get the investors. You got to give the investors reasons to keep investing, because the line must go up.
Just like how nuclear fusion is 5 years out. It's always 5 years out. Always.
Well, no, that's the thing. We can do nuclear fusion. It's just currently it requires a greater energy input than it gives out. So it's a question. Actually, there was, I think last year there was a news item where there was a research paper published where they had finally like gotten more energy out of a fusion reaction than they had put into it. But
yeah.
The reaction only lasted for like a fraction of a second. Yeah, we can't do sustained fusion. Sustained fusion is difficult. Turns out without the mass of a star to back it up, it's kind of hard.
We know that it's possible because stars exist.
Cold fusion, I will put my money on cold fusion will happen never.
Yeah?
I am not optimistic about cold fusion. Hot fusion, or like the fusion that they can do now, I am optimistic that will become an energy source for us at some point. When? I don't know.
Is cold fusion like Neapolitan ice cream?
Now, cold fusion is the science fiction. Cold fusion is what Tony Stark has in his chest.
So it's not Neapolitan ice cream?
No.
Which is objectively a fusion of cold things.
Medbez when? I can't wait for the Ryujin Z anime remake. Well, according to Trump, Medbed soon. I mean, he deleted that tweet, but like, he tweeted out what fake false Fox News report with his daughter as the anchor and with him saying things about medbeds, and he didn't realize that it was fake. Like, he's just mentally not there anymore.
Nope. He's a stupid little guy. He's a stupid, dumb little guy saying stupid, dumb little guy things.
Mm-hmm.
100% of the time. What a stupid, dumb little guy.
Speaking of stupid, dumb little guys, there's a stupid, dumb big guy that I want to talk about next.
Oh.
Did you hear the latest news on Alex Jones?
The Hitler stash?
Yeah, Alex Jones
Look,
has...
it drove women wild. That's what he told me.
Okay, I actually, so this one I actually did pull a picture so you guys can see it. That's Alex Jones with his Hitler stash.
It drove women wild.
It drove women, they couldn't stop throwing their panties at him.
I don't see it. He looks stoned. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's like, I know that he's a shock jock. And so his modus operandi is going to be doing something that gets attention. Like that's what he does. He does not understand a world where he is not constantly begging for attention.
Yeah.
I get that.
So direct quote. He says, "I could tell you it had a wild effect on women. I thought they were about to start throwing their panties at me, and they didn't know why. Lex Luthor meets Adolf Hitler looks with blue eyes. They just didn't know what to do. They're like melting."
Isn't it weird that once upon a time, Alex Jones was the person trying to talk down Kanye West and Nick Fuentes when they were saying how great Hitler was, and now he's doing this? Isn't that strange? Doesn't that show you the level of principles that this man has? All that needs to happen for him to change what he believes is the political winds to blow further to the right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This
was
is a
sent to me
man
by Jasses, by the way. Just I should probably say that.
This is a man who used to spend his days just very loudly criticizing the right-wing Bush government. This is how this man made his bread and butter. And now he is a bootlicker. That's what he just is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they mentioned that his social experiment with this mustache was apparently inspired by Vice President J.D. Vance, who went viral on Wednesday after he demanded Americans stop using the word Nazi as an insult. I mean,
if you don't want the word Nazi to be used as an insult, stop acting like a fucking Nazi.
He's the one that literally called Trump America's Hitler.
Yeah.
So like,
I'm sorry that we're using the words. I'm sorry that we're using the words you used. I learned it from you.
I learned it by watching you.
I learned it by watching you.
Parents who use drugs have kids who use drugs. That was a crazy PSA.
This is your brain. This is your brain on cocaine. This is your family. This is your loved ones. These are your relationships.
I feel like that's a Family Guy reference.
No, it was one of those anti-drug PSAs where it was a girl in like a high-rise apartment.
No, I remember
like one of those...
there was the "This is your brain on drugs" with the egg in the frying pan.
So Robot Chicken did a parody of that where it just had her like destroying the entire apartment with the cast iron skillet.
Yeah, so I had the wrong show, but I knew that it was a parody. Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Stop abusing drugs. Drugs don't deserve to be abused. They deserve to be loved and cherished inside your nostril hole.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against drugs, but I don't want my kids using drugs.
Look, all I'm saying is I'm joining the war on drugs, on the side of drugs.
That took a second. I don't know why it took it so long to register, but it took a second. Okay.
Just seeing the picture of just fucking Karl Marx wielding a hammer and a sickle and just like buffed out as shit. I'm joining the war on communism, on the side of communism.
Yeah, The Simpsons did it better. They'd let him break out of his little glass tomb thing, be like, "Must crush capitalism."
Or when South Park did the banned books episode, "Must kill John Lennon."
Oh, because of what was that, Catcher in the Rye?
Catcher in the Rye, yeah.
Catcher in the Rye is just not a good book.
Speaking of drugs, guess who finally got a medical marijuana certificate? Nice.
I mean,
Will Chart, I've given up doing
So-
drugs for good. I now exclusively do them for evil.
well, it's like medical marijuana is one of those things. I have mixed feelings about it because, like, scientifically speaking, the research just isn't there. But then on the other hand, I have a partner who struggles with chronic nausea and chronically unable to sleep, and marijuana helps her with that. So I'm like, I'm sitting here drinking my beer. Marijuana is less harmful than beer, so like, I'm not gonna pass judgment on her for using marijuana to not throw up.
But now it's apple juice. And now it's OJ. Now it's beer. Yay, beer.
When it was OJ, it wrote a book about how it would have done it if it was actually guilty.
Ramblevicious knows no it isn't knows
Yeah,
Dragon Ball Z
I know the
abridged.
research on cannabis is limited partly due to the war on drugs, but so the thing is though, like there are actual medications that do the same things that cannabis does, but better because they're medications. But the issue is that in Canada, prescriptions are not free. Yes, they're a lot cheaper than they are in the States, but they're not free. And her prescriptions are already like $600 a month because she's got type 2 diabetes as well as a couple other things that are chronic illness. We're dealing with chronic illness. Thank you for
Cozy.
the hats, Content 83. And so it's just like, yeah, we could go to the doctor and be like, hey, can you give us another thing that would help with the nausea and the sleep? Or she could just do marijuana. And like, yeah, marijuana is not cheap either, but it's cheaper than a bunch more prescriptions that, you know, may or may not work. Anyway, I'm not recommending either way. Talk to your doctor before you use marijuana medicinally. And talk to your doctor before you use alternatives to marijuana medicinally. I'm not a doctor. I'm a guy wearing a flower hat.
I'm not a doctor.
I'm not a doctor. I'm a guy wearing a flower hat talking to a cat girl.
I'm a doctor.
If you're coming to me for your medical information, you're coming to the wrong place.
I'm a doctor, not a medical marijuana specialist.
Have we watched Reefer Madness, the musical, not the weird propaganda film?
I
No.
love the musical so much. It's one of my favorites.
We have watched the weird propaganda film.
No, the musical is so good. Alan Cumming has such a fucking fun time being the villain of that musical.
Alan Cumming's in that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
what year was it made?
This was made early aughts, early 2000.
Oh, so he was old then when it was made. Unless I'm completely wrong about who Alan Cumming is. IMDb. Alan Cumming. No results.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, Reefer Madness is 2006.
Oh, that's the guy who played Boris in Goldeneye. Okay. I was thinking of Alan Cummings with an S. I think. Maybe. The fuck is the guy's name? Okay. The guy who played Thénardier in the in the 10th anniversary concert of Les Miserables.
I have no idea what that is.
You don't know what Les Miserables is?
No, I know what Les Miserables
Okay,
is.
I was
Just
gonna say.
fucking with you.
I was gonna say.
Now, I haven't seen it, but I do know what it is.
Yeah, that's the musical that I've seen. Come on. Oh, there it is. There it is.
This is a riveting
Alan
episode,
Armstrong.
by the way.
Alan Armstrong. God damn it. His name's Alan. I had that right.
Yay. Now, I love Reefer Madness. I think it is a fun fucking musical. And I love that my drama teacher was the one that suggested I watch it. And I quote, because I'm just that fucked up.
Okay.
That was the opinion of my drama teacher when I was like 17. And you know what? He was right. I adored that musical.
Okay, well, next news item. We've got a mix of good and bad news in this one. Good news.
Oh boy.
You remember the name Ryan Walters?
Vaguely.
Vaguely. So he's the guy that did the Trump Bibles in classrooms, the Ten Commandments in classrooms, the curriculum that said we need to talk about the discrepancies in the 2020 election, the porno during the school meeting. That's Ryan Walters. All that and more. We'll get into it.
Okay.
So the good news is he's resigning as Oklahoma's superintendent. The bad news is he's becoming the CEO of the Teacher Freedom Alliance, which is a nonprofit that says it assists educators in their mission to develop free, moral, and upright American citizens. And in his announcement and talking about him becoming the CEO, he said, "We are going to destroy the teachers' unions."
I want less of this timeline. This timeline's stupid.
So this was sent to me by the Haggis God. Great name, by the way. I was in Scotland not too long ago, and every day we had breakfast in one of the little cafes or whatever, I made sure to order something with haggis, because haggis is delicious.
You know, I have never once in my life felt the compunction to try haggis.
It is good.
And I don't think I'm going to start.
And I was there with my child, who is vegetarian, and they were quite impressed with one place we went to that had a vegetarian haggis option, which I'm like, I'm not even sure how you do that, vegetarian, but sure. It's just ground soy, probably. But, yeah, so, they've got a list of some of the stuff. So, he tried to require schools social studies teachers to promote conspiracies about the 2020 election. He wanted to track the immigration status of children in the schools and require applicants for teacher jobs. Oh yeah, so he that was the PragerU test that we did last time. That was the thing that he said, before you can be a teacher in Oklahoma, you have to pass this test. And of course there was the Trump Bible thing and the Ten Commandments thing and the porno on his screen during a meeting thing. So it's good that he's not going to be the superintendent anymore, but he's, basically becoming a lobbyist against teachers.
I'm so happy. They're going to provide so many resources to teachers, like denying them resources.
Yeah.
That's going to be swell.
Have you ever wanted to buy even more supplies out of your own personal money for your classroom? Join up with our non-union. But I mean, at least he's not superintendent anymore. I mean, on the downside, that means it's we're losing an easy source of news stories.
Still, just it sucks because I have people who are teachers that are in my moderation team. So this is something that hits not home to me, but home to people who are important to me. And that fucking blows. You know how when you objectively know something is bad, but then it gets 10 times worse when it's a degree away from you?
Yeah, but I mean, there is a chance that he's going to be less effective here than he was as superintendent, and he was not very effective as superintendent. Almost everything he did got overturned in the courts, and the Supreme Court either declined to even hear it, or it just never made it up there in the first place.
Yeah, but which Supreme Court?
This one.
The current one.
Yes.
The one with... So he wasn't effective when the deck was stacked in his favor.
Correct. So the fact that he is no longer superintendent, but is now just part of a lobby group, essentially. I don't know.
So On the one hand, having done stuff with lobby groups before, you do have a lot more resources to make yourself rhetorically effective when you're part of a lobby group. But you don't have direct power the same way that you would as, say, superintendent. All you have is the ability to sit in a room with somebody and try to bargain.
Yeah, so basically he's gone from implementing the illegal stuff himself to a position where he's going to try and convince other people to implement the illegal stuff. So he's like 1 degree removed now.
Yay. This is a fantastic timeline. I'm so happy I bought the tickets to this one, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I said this was mixed.
Yeah. I can see that. I can definitely see why you say that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, also he did like promote the Teacher Freedom Alliance while he was superintendent. So like he basically gave them a bunch of power and then quit his job to become their CEO. So the mixed news gets worse.
Yeah.
Yay, corruption.
My favorite. I love this. I'm tired, Rhino. Are you tired?
Oh, I'm so tired. Although my stash of prepper supplies is growing. We've got batteries. We've got a little lamp that can charge with a hand crank and got a big enough battery to charge your phone. Although, funny enough, you have to crank it for like 20 hours straight in order to fill it. So I'm not sure how useful that's going to be, but like, yeah, it's a lamp.
And the ambassador says, "You promised me good news. This is a lie."
I did not promise you good news. I promised you that we were going to end on something funny. But even the funny thing, it's debatable whether or not it's good news. We'll get there.
I guess that is technically different.
We still got one news item. We have to talk about that stupid fucking meeting.
Oh, well.
Okay, well, first we're going to Spoonbill of Adam for $5 says, speaking of teachers, it seems like everyone I talk to seems to hate teachers unions. Why? Just why? I can't speak to the local politics of teachers unions all over the states. In Ontario, teachers unions have kind of a bad rap because the teachers union is incredibly wealthy. Like they partially own the Toronto Blue Jays. I think. I might be wrong on that. Like if they don't own it, they have a major stake in it or something. I don't know, but it's incredibly wealthy, and it's seen by the general population as like a job. Like teachers have really good pensions because of the teachers union that owns part of a baseball team. And so it's kind of seen as like almost cheating the system because like, of course, there's that bullshit about like how, they get 2 months a year off, which like they spend that 2 months a year preparing their lesson plans for the following school year. And like, I have kids that are problem kids for the teachers. So I am not going to pretend like a teacher's job is easy because I know that my kids make it hard. So I don't know. I don't have an issue with the teachers unions. I think teachers deserve a pay raise. But yeah, I'm not going to go into detail about that.
Daughter TMS says, well, part of it's because Republicans have been spending decades declawing and defaming unions. That's true. A good portion of the
teachers unions get I have noticed this as well. It's that teachers unions specifically get an inordinate amount of the hate.
I think it's because it's the union that we deal with the most. Like every parent on some level has to deal with the teachers union at some point in time, just because their kids are going to a school. You don't always have to deal with the electricians union. You don't always have to deal with the Starbucks union, but you do always have to deal with, in your mind, the people who are in charge of educating your child.
Yeah, like there's a lot of red tape, especially if you have a child with special needs of some kind, or if you have a what's it called? My kids have this, so I should know what it is. The like when you have a kid with like autism or something, you get the what the fuck is the abbreviation for? IEP, that's the one. Thank you, Katini. IEP. Um so when you get the no, it's IEP in Canada as well. So when they deal with the IEP stuff, there's stuff in there to protect the teachers as well as the students, and depending on like it's very different from state to state, my understanding is, but like it can be difficult getting that stuff through, and part of that is union protections for the teachers, but then there's also just bullshit red tape. Like there's all sorts of red tape that just makes things difficult, and part of that is because of union protections. But like that's one of those things where it's like, no, I understand. Like, I don't know. It's a tricky situation. Fennec says, I hate the term special needs because speaking as a disabled person, our needs aren't special. They are just our needs. Calling them special just makes it easier for folks to dismiss them. Yeah, I get that. I am a 90s kid. Like the schools that I went to as a kid had like there was the main school, and then there was the special needs classroom that I don't think actually did much in the way of education. It was just a place to put the kids that had disabilities of one kind or another to just get them out of the way. So yeah, I get that. And also as someone with like, I have multiple autistic children. I have children with behavioral issues. And as someone like, I'm not officially diagnosed, but you guys have all diagnosed me, and my partner, who is a therapist, is convinced that I am also autistic.
Just
so, like,
wear everybody's favorite hat, undiagnosed but pretty sure.
Yeah. So that's one of those things where, as a kid, if I was diagnosed, it's kind of a crapshoot whether or not that would have actually been better for me. So like maybe I would have gotten more help in school and would have gotten something that I needed and would have done better. Thank you for the hats, Jassa. But it was also the 90s. I might have just gotten shoved in that other classroom and not taught anything. So it might have been worse for me. I don't know. As it turns out, the 90s kind of sucked. Everybody kind of has nostalgia for it, but no, things have gotten better since then. I'm black and AFAB. They were not diagnosing me. Yeah.
Yeah, that isn't an unfortunate. That's an unfortunate thing that happened a lot for years. If you remember, for a while, we had that. I don't want to call it a meme, but it almost fucking is, where we argued that women could not get autism. Like women could not be autistic was an actual belief.
I don't remember that, but I do remember girls don't have ADHD.
Yeah, girls don't have ADHD. Girls don't have autism.
So
like there's been a lot of that.
So I am diagnosed ADHD, and my presentation of ADHD is a lot closer to what would be considered typically feminine. And so that's why I never got diagnosed, because I was not the kid that couldn't sit in a seat. I was the kid that could sit in my seat, but all my hyperactivity was internal in my brain. So I'm sitting in my seat, but I'm daydreaming about whatever the fuck. I'm in my mind. I'm back and forth. Like, I'm not paying attention to the fucking class.
Mm-hmm.
But like, and so, yeah, inattentive, not hyperactive type. Yeah, that's my understanding of the words that is used to describe that. But it's also been described like typically feminine versus typically masculine ADHD presentation. Like when you think of ADHD, you think of the kid that's off the walls and can't sit still. That is the typically male presentation, and a lot of girls did not get diagnosed because they could sit still, but they were internally off the walls.
Bouncing around for fun. It's my favorite. But no, we do have a history of just like looking at various groups of people and saying, "Oh, that's just a factor of that group. That's not something that we need to look into any more than just that."
Yeah. And like this like it's kind of ties into the whole autism caused by taking Tylenol while you're pregnant thing. Like the reason autism diagnosis has increased is because we're recognizing it in more people. It's like the diagnostic criteria have expanded. Like back in the early 1900s, someone that was obsessed with trains is just like, oh, wow, that perfectly normal guy just really likes trains. It's like, no, that might be a symptom of autism. It might not be just a normal guy that likes trains. Like, I don't know. It's and when autism was first recognized, it was like schizophrenia. Like it was classified as schizophrenia.
Oh yeah, in 1911, when autism was coined
up until like the 1950s,
40s. So sorry,
Sure.
hold on. Let me timeline. 1911, the word autism is coined. The behaviors that were described by that ended up being reclassified as schizophrenia later on down the road. The word autism to mean what we currently mean when we say autism, that was 1943.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they're talking about the Tylenol connection, and I just want to say about the Tylenol connection, like, even if the correlation is there, which all the research has shown that, like, when you actually control for things, the correlation goes away. But even if there was a correlation, like the authors of the one study that found a correlation, like said right in it that we did not prove a causal link, we were just showing a correlation here. But like even if the correlation is valid, there are other things that we know are risk factors for autism, like maternal age. If the mother is older when having kids, the kid is more likely to have autism. You know what else is likely to happen if a mother is older while having kids? She's likely to be in a lot of pain and need Tylenol. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, there's a relationship there potentially, but it's like she's older when she's having kids, which is more likely to result in autism. But also, if you're older when you're having kids, you're more likely to need Tylenol while you're having kids.
What's that old comedian routine? If you have old sperm, you're going to get old sperm babies. Have you ever seen what old sperm babies look like? They're the ones who aren't on the playground. They're the ones who are shivering over by the side of the corner bench.
I've never heard that, but that does track. Anyway, we do have to talk about that stupid meeting that they called.
We do. Oh yay! I'm so happy.
So I found this on my own, and it was sent to me by my anonymous source, and it was sent to me by E.T. Benson, and it was probably sent to me by a couple other people that I'm forgetting to credit.
It sounded like you said a cuckle of other people.
A cuckold of other people.
A cuckle of other people.
That is the metric for measuring audience size on my channels. How many?
Well, of course, because they watch.
It's like there's 110 people watching the stream on YouTube right now. That's about
one cuckold.
That's about 20 cuckolds. No, one cuckold is about 5 people, so it's about 20
it has
cuckolds.
to be an odd number of people so that there's always one person watching and left out.
Exactly. I'm glad you're understanding. So yeah, there's various versions of the story were sent to me by various people. Like this, like I pulled it from Politico, but everybody sent this to me. So Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's speech to top generals was supposed to serve as a rallying cry for military exceptionalism, but it didn't land that way with many of the people it was targeting. So the thing that stuck out to me immediately, and we'll touch on this later in the article, was that like if you collect all of the generals into one room and announce publicly
a stupid idea
that where this room is going to be and what time it's going to be at, that is just begging for an attack. Like, can you imagine how devastated the American military would have been if somebody had bombed that room?
Yeah, we would have lost not only our president, which, jury's out on how bad of a loss that would be, but we'd not only lose our president, but we would lose, what was it, like over 17,000 years of military experience combined? Some absurd number like that?
Something like that. There were about, from what I read, there was about 800 generals there. It's all of the top brass. It's all of the commanders of the military, the people in charge of figuring out where to send troops and why. You just bomb that room, and the entire American military apparatus is paralyzed. But yeah, so Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's speech to top generals was supposed to serve as a rallying cry for military exceptionalism, but it didn't land that way with many of the people it was targeting.
No, of course not.
So a lot of the sources for this article were anonymous because they feared retribution, which I don't know how much of the speeches you watched, but at one point, when nobody was applauding or laughing at the jokes or reacting in any way to anything that was said, Trump kind of got frustrated and was like, "Oh, you're supposed to be here having a good time. Just don't worry about it. But if you don't want to hear it, you can leave. But if you do leave, that's the end of your career."
You could walk out there, but of course there's your future. And then everybody just started nervously laughing after that point.
Yeah. So like they explicitly threatened their military career if they didn't stay in the meeting. So obviously these people were not comfortable there.
Yeah.
But so like the people that were there were speaking anonymously because they don't want to jeopardize their careers. So one person said it was more like a press conference than briefing the generals. They said this meeting could have been an email, obviously. So the way I see it, like, yeah, they were kind of doing a loyalty test, but I feel like it was also Trump just wanted to have a rally where everybody was like in impressive military regalia because he wants to be like Hitler.
Man, let's just make stupid decisions that critically hurt our military infrastructure so that we can look strong. Like let's do things that make stupid people think we look strong, that smart people understand makes us look stupid.
Also, I'm going to, like, that word, I want to say it's pronounced Quantico, but I feel like it's not. I feel like that's got a different pronunciation that I'm not aware of. Or do you know?
No, I don't.
Because I would say Quantico, but I feel like I've heard the name of that place before and it's not pronounced Quantico.
So here's what I do know. This has told me that I need sugar in my system. So I am going to go throw a thing into the toaster oven real quick and then be right back.
Okay.
Isn't this so fun? Don't you love hearing that your leader wants your entire infrastructure militarily to just crumble randomly because China's having a bad fucking day?
Our generals aren't allowed to throw things in the toaster oven because then that would make them fat. And we can't have fat generals or fat troops.
It doesn't work in the army. It's so long as they handle PT, they're good.
Yeah, okay, but Hegseth can do more PT than the generals.
Hegseth's a fucking wiener. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Hegseth is in better physical shape than me, despite the fact that he's drunk all the time. So, like, yeah, he can do more chin-ups than me. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. That doesn't mean that everybody should meet that same standard to be in the military. Anyway, you go do your thing.
Yep, I'm gonna do the thing.
You need to get like a wireless. You need to get like earbuds or something with a microphone for these streams, so you can continue chatting while you're cooking or letting the dog in or whatever the fuck. Because I don't fucking know how to entertain people when I'm by myself. Hi chat, how's it going? So Silksong's pretty fun, but it's hard. I'm at the final boss. Well, apparently there's multiple endings, but so I'm at like the basic final boss. We could watch the Charlie Kirk YouTube poop. No, we can't because that'll get the stream taken down.
All right, I have thrown Pop-Tarts in the oven.
Yay!
Life is fantastic.
Okay. And do you remember the part of the speech where Hegseth said the rules of engagement were stupid?
Yes, the one where he said that war crimes are good, actually.
Yeah, protecting civilians from being dead in war is stupid. And their job is to kill people and break things. And then the president of the United States came out after he said their job is to kill things and kill people and break things, and was like, "Hey, now I'm going to send you to American cities to do your job." What was that job again? Kill people and break things. How about that?
No, it's our military is being primed to go out and kill American citizens.
Mm-hmm. Although, if the reaction of the room was anything to go by, they're not impressed.
Yeah, but they're still gonna do it. That's the thing. The United States cannot have a military coup against the president because our military is too disorganized for that. Not in the sense that our military does not have a top-down organizational structure that works really well for sending people to do things, but because we quite literally just randomly shuffle around our military personnel every year or so, our military is not set up in such a way where people can actually like build up their little secret societies.
The Roman thing where his battalion is loyal to the general.
Yeah.
Which is, on balance, it's a good thing. But in this scenario, it'd almost be like, I kind of want a military coup. I would like the military to roll in and be like, "Hey, president's not supposed to do that. Bye."
Yep. The problem is that what we would end up having is a new norm set up.
Yeah, I get that. I get that, and it would be bad. I'm not actually advocating for that.
I'm saying is service guarantees citizenship, and I'm doing my part.
Oh my god. Did you know they made 3 movies of that?
Of Starship Troopers?
Yes.
I know they did 2. I've watched 1 and 2.
The 3rd one was a made-for-TV movie. It's a Christian movie. Did you know it's a Christian movie? But I don't actually know if it's a Christian movie, because it might be doing that thing that the first one did with fascism, where it's like pretending to be on the side of fascism for the sake of making it so ridiculous. But there were some things that were like, I think these guys might actually think that they're making good points and that this is the good thing. Mm-hmm. Like they didn't understand the fascism metaphor in the first one, and they just were like, yeah, no, they were the good guys.
Yeah, Starship Troopers 2 is less of a... It is unrecognizable as a Starship Troopers film because it's just about
I've zero memories of Starship Troopers 2, but I know God Awful Movies did Starship Troopers 3 recently, and I watched that with Heidi recently, and she was just so confused. It was like, at the end of it, it was like, so was this a Christian movie or not? Because like part of what makes the first one not fascist is if you're paying attention, they're actually losing the war. The thing that they get excited about is the bug is scared, and a scared bug means good for propaganda. And so like that's kind of like, that kind of gives the game away, where like we're doing a critique of fascism, because it's all about the spectacle. It's not about whether or not you're actually winning or losing. We just need to have the spectacle of winning.
Yeah, we never actually see any guaranteed human victories in there other than the one, where they grab out the one brain bug.
Whereas in the third one, they actually win. They destroy an entire planet of bugs, and they have the weapon that helps them win. And that goes hand in hand with the Christianity theme. And so, like, it's one of those, like, did they know what they were doing? Or, like, were they trying to do the same thing as the first one? Or were they not? And it's kind of hard to parse out.
Was it the same director?
No, absolutely not.
Because, like, I know that it was a different director. I don't know that
for a fact, but I can almost guarantee it was not.
Because, like, I know it was a different director for 2, because 2 literally went from, this is a This is a critique on fascism from the point of the fascists to this is a movie that says, did Species get you horny? This will also get you horny. Because I remember watching it as a kid and all I could think of was, damn, I want to fuck some bug women.
Paul Verhoeven was the director. No, I don't think it was him.
Tal says, is Rhino talking about Starship Troopers or Ender's Game?
No, I'm talking about Starship Troopers. I know Ender's Game is much more subtle than Starship Troopers 3. No, the director was Edward Neumeier.
The fact that the director of Starship Troopers 1 never finished the book is hilarious to me. He got so disgusted with what the book was that he just said,
if you're a Star Trek nerd, T'Pol plays the atheist who has to convert and be Christian by the end of it.
See, and the ambassador says, I remember seeing a TikTok where this guy claimed to have read the Starship Troopers book and he made fun of people saying the society in the book are fascists. His literal argument was all you need to do to serve is serve to vote and you can have your own businesses. Yeah, hyper-militarized society are often fascist because the term fascist comes from fascia, and fascia was a bundle of uniform sticks used as a weapon. The term literally comes from power through unity and force. That's what the fucking word means.
I do just have to say, though, that in my conversation with Heidi about whether or not Starship Troopers 3 is actually a Christian movie or whether it was a critique of Christianity and the use of religion for power, what came out of that discussion was she was like, that is more confusing than that Christian time travel movie. And we were both thinking of different movies when she said that. So the fact that, it's one of those things where it's like, if I had a nickel for every time I saw a Christian time travel movie, I'd only have 2 nickels, but it is weird that it happened twice.
Holy Ghost fire. Holy Ghost fire. Anyway,
no, that wasn't time travel.
Yep, well, I need to let the cat in, and I also need to grab I need to grab the Pop-Tarts. That's what I need to do. My life's gonna be better after those.
Yeah, so Jassa, 33 AD is the one that she was thinking of, but I was thinking of Time Changer. So 33 AD is the one where Muslims go back in time to assassinate Jesus Christ before he can die on the cross properly. And Time Changer is the one where a professor from the 1800s who was like, no, we don't need to put Jesus in the classroom. He then travels forward through time and sees that girls are wearing miniskirts and is like, oh, we actually do need to put Jesus in the classroom. And so, instead of going back in time and being like, hey, we have vaccines now. We could do vaccines. We could do all this other medical technology. We could do, all sorts of cool tech that I could have, made the world a better place. Nope. We need to have Jesus in the classroom to stop the miniskirts from dominating. Yeah, never seen it. It's not worth seeing. It's not actually all that... I'm making it sound a lot better than it is. 33 AD is worth seeing. That one is crazy and is so fucking wild and so much fun to watch. And that's the one where I actually have emailed the director of that movie because I did that as a drunken movie night years and years and years ago, back when I did drunken movie nights. And it got taken down for copyright reasons. And that's one of those things where I got the director's direct contact information with that. I was like, hey, I'm pretty sure I was doing this in fair use. And then he emailed me back and was like, no, I just did a bunch of copyright strikes on a bunch of things. So, no. And then it was like, okay, well, if I want to continue going, then this could end up in court. And I don't have the money for that, and it's not really worth it. So. But, yeah, no, I have directly emailed the director of 3380, which I'm not sure if that counts as, increasing my cred or not. Anyway, last news story. I promised we'd end on a not necessarily positive note, but at least a fun note. Walmart bans man's emotional support alligator after customer complaints.
What?
This guy had an emotional support alligator.
I mean, yeah, they're swamp puppies. What about it?
There's a picture. Look, he's wearing a little sweater. This is emotional support alligator in a little sweater.
Oh my god, that's adorable.
No, it's not Florida. That's
Give me 5.
That is the most surprising thing about this whole story, is that this is not Florida. This is Pennsylvania. It is not Florida. It's Pennsylvania. But like, yeah, that is an adorable emotional support alligator. I absolutely support banning it from Walmart though, because it's a fucking alligator. But it is adorable.
That's too cute. Also, Razor, thank you for resubscribing. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to leave this up because I don't need to read the article. It's an emotional support alligator wearing a sweater. It's a fucking adorable.
Yeah, I want one.
I do not, because I know alligators are monsters that do not care about you. If that alligator does not love him, it will eat his fingers if he does not feed it on time.
I think it likes him.
Didn't you mansplain Dunning-Kruger to Justin Kruger once, Vice Rhino, as far as cred goes? No, it was actually Dunning, not Kruger, that I was... and I didn't mansplain it. I got into an argument with him about some of the ramifications of the study. And I'm just going to come out and say that I was probably wrong about the Dunning-Kruger effect when I was arguing with Dunning of the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Mm-hmm.
But I did not notice that that's who I was arguing with, so I was very confident in my wrongness.
As one would be.
It was a very humbling experience.
You can take the man out of Florida, but you can't take the Florida out of the man.
But yeah, there's nothing to say about this news story other than it's a fucking emotional support alligator wearing a sweater. Ugh. Let him have his gator. I mean, to be fair, if I was in Walmart and I saw someone walking a gator through Walmart, I'd like bundle my kids up and be like, nope, we're coming back later. Although, also to be fair, I was once at a, there was an animal rescue thing. There's Ringtail Ranch and Lemur Rescue or something. I forget what it was called. But I took my kids there, and we were like, it's an animal rescue thing. So they have camels, and they have lemurs, and they have like exotic cats and things or whatever. And it's like, and they had an open house where you could come and see all these different animals they were rescuing. And one of my kids got his finger bit by a camel.
Mm-hmm.
And to apologize to us, they gave all of my kids free freezies. Or like, okay, well, you know, he's not seriously hurt. It's fine, whatever. Like, yeah, it probably, like, they had someone, like, the person who was handling the camel had autism and wasn't paying attention when my kid was bit. So it was like, okay, I'm not gonna, like, press charges or anything. Is like, clearly that was just a mistake. It happens, whatever. I don't care. And, like, and when I say had autism, I don't mean, like it was, like, clearly probably needed support and wasn't getting the support that they needed. But then I'm like, yeah, legal action's not going to help with that at this point. So I'm just like, whatever, we'll take the free freezies. He's fine. Maybe we'll go get some antibiotics from the doctor or whatever, but it's fine. But then, like, half an hour later after they finished their freezies, we were, like, walking up to the lynx enclosure, and that's when a little girl got attacked by the lynx. And I'm not going to lie, I did not jump in to save the little girl. I grabbed my kids and was like, nope, we're going. Let's go. Come on, guys. We're out of here. And probably the worst part of that story is that after this happened, before they got because they have been shut down now. But after this happened, and the little girl was fine. So the lynx was being held back by a window screen. And the screen had fallen down, and the lynx had got its paw, like, outside the corner of it, and was clawing at the little girl. And other people got there. And
That's
they, like,
terrifying.
Yeah, it was. She was fine. Like, she survived. Probably a little bit traumatized by it, but there were other people there that got the lynx off of her and, you know, made sure it was okay. But, like, that place got shut down. But before they got shut down, but after the lynx attack happened, I got some comments on my YouTube channel from the person that owns the place. It turned out that they were a fan of mine. and they were trying to like get me to promote them on my channel. And I was just like, no, I was there for the Lynx attack, man. I am not promoting this place. Yeah, still safe for the Gunhovens Park. Nobody died. Everybody was okay that day.
I think they're going to bring their kids back next summer.
Yeah, so if you don't know, Kent Hovind had a kid die at his park, and he was like, oh, the dad was actually fine with it. He said he wants to come back later. Everybody was having fun. Yeah, anyway. Oh, what am I doing? Nope, not looking at my Talbart searches. All right, nope, I'm going to push my buttons, but my buttons don't work. Shall we go to the tweets?
Sure, let's go to the tweets. Why not? It's the year 2025, and Donald Trump's the president, so the tweets are always great.
We're going to start with racism.
Oh, God, I usually like ending the night with racism, but beginning the night with racism sounds good, too.
Well, I mean, Wendell's usually at the end, and he occasionally does racist stuff.
Racism the entree, not racism the dessert.
I don't think we have Wendell at the end, though, this time. Spoiler. Anyway, first tweet is Ada Lutch. Ada Lutch? I'm not sure who this person is. But so End Wokeness tweeted out an Ilhan Omar clip where she said the idea that America is a white nation that must be preserved is disgusting, which I would agree with that. And Ada retweeted that saying, every single founding father was literally white, you disgusting traitor. Like,
who cares that they were white?
Yeah, they were white.
Why does that fucking matter?
Would they, like, were the black people allowed to participate in the things that they did? Or were they maybe owned as property because fucking slavery was the thing that happened then?
Man, white nationalism has really just become a huge fucking thing, hasn't it? That's wild. It went from being the fringe thing that we heard about once in a while to being half the yahoos on the internet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They were able to participate 3/5 of the time. That wasn't until like the mid 1800s, man. We're talking 1776. They were not allowed to participate at all.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like when you lionize the founding fathers, like almost all of them owned slaves.
Mm-hmm.
Like George Washington, a lot to admire about the guy. Don't forget that he owned slaves. He owned other people as property. Oh, but he freed some of them. Sure, he did, and that was good. He still owned people as property, and he didn't just
George Washington specifically had two properties. One in Pennsylvania and one in Washington, D.C. area, if memory serves. And the reason he had the two properties was because there was a rule on, I think it was in Pennsylvania, where you had to get rid of your slaves after holding them for like a year or 9 months or something.
Oh,
so he would
transfer them back and forth.
He would transfer them back and forth to keep resetting their legal slave status.
Yeah, sounds like good, upstanding moral character. Also, his dentures were not made of wood. They were made of the teeth of his slaves. Just so you know. So, yeah, those are the people that founded your country. Like,
yay!
They had some great progressive ideas for the time. They were also moral pieces of shit because they owned slaves. Like, I don't even need to go on. Like, I was going to go on from that, but it's like, no. They own slaves. What more need I say? Owning another human being as property, not moral.
But what if they became your pet and you amputated their arms and legs and that's what they wanted?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, technically, the slaves that he made his dentures out of, they did that voluntarily. They didn't have to give up their teeth for that. But, like, what else were they gonna do? How else can a slave make a little bit of money? Because, like, he paid for his teeth. He would, like, it wasn't just like, you're my slave, so give me your tooth. It was, you're my slave, so sell me your tooth or I will beat you.
Yep.
So it's a little tiny bit better than just but like still. Anyway, moving on. Bridget Gabriel says, the Super Bowl halftime show is the most widely watched show around the world, and the NFL picked Bad Bunny to perform, an un-American communist who hates President Trump and supports dismantling our Constitution. Kid Rock would have unified the nation. Shame on Roger Goodell.
Kid Rock would not have unified the nation.
Absolutely not.
Also, so I've been looking into the Bad Bunny thing, and it led me down a rabbit hole because Bad Bunny is in favor of independence for Puerto Rico.
Okay.
And that is one of the big arguments against him right now from people in general, for whatever reason.
Fennec says nobody likes Kid Rock. Yes, but that's what would unify everybody.
None of us like Kid Rock.
Unify about how much they don't like Kid Rock. Did you know Kid Rock was in a sex tape with Scott Stapp of Creed?
No.
Hold that in your mind for later. Go
Wild.
on about Bad Bunny.
So, the reason that people don't like Bad Bunny is because Bad Bunny like actively puts his politics into his artistic work. And there are people who really do not like it when you do that. Even though, you know, politics and artwork have collaborated since, well, we could draw fucking cave paintings. Yeah. Like, that's just kind of how things have been since the dawn of societies existing in general. I disagree with dear
ever
leader
since
on...
people learned to express themselves, they started expressing their opinions when they expressed themselves. Fancy that.
What a weird coinky dink. Anyway, the end result of that, like I said, was me going down a long rabbit hole of researching the founding of Puerto Rico, or not the founding, but like when we took it over.
I'm sorry. Kitsune Cavalier says, it goes to show my sexism when I thought Bad Bunny was a woman. Okay, fun fact, the only reason I know Bad Bunny was not a woman is because I'm a huge nerd who watches tech YouTube, so I saw Linus Tech Tips on, I think it was Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon, one of the two Jimmys, and Bad Bunny was also the guest. That's the only thing I know about Bad Bunny, is that he was once on the Late Show with Linus Tech Tips.
Fun.
So, yeah, no, that's your sexism. The only reason I knew he wasn't a woman is because I'm a nerd who watches Linus Tech Tips.
But he advocates for Puerto Rico being its own country, just no longer being under the thumb of the United States. And
so every single bullet point that's listed in the Declaration of Independence as a reason why they're declaring their independence, he sees how that applies to Puerto Rico and is like, hey, maybe we shouldn't be hypocrites about this.
Yeah, basically, because the United States is not supposed to have colonies. That is a thing that we openly declared that we do not have. And yet we actually have Puerto Rico, and it is
Islands.
It's functionally a colony, and every single citizen there is a second-class citizen to American citizens without any kind of independence. Now, because of that, I've usually argued in favor, with not a lot of research, mind you, but argued in favor of Puerto Rico becoming a state. Because if you're going to be part of the United States, then you may as well, you may as well have the say in the United States. And one of the arguments that the United States has tried to but like one of the backbone arguments for not bringing Puerto Rico into the fold of the United States has been that like 60% of their population qualifies for welfare because it is a very, very poor country economically.
So let's fucking help people. They're just human beings who need some help.
Yes, but you have American politicians who see dollar signs and not people, and those politicians see it as an expensive undertaking, an expensive project, instead of the dues of the people.
Too, but they at least got statehood out of the deal. Puerto Rico just got the annexing. And Guam, and the Virgin Islands. American Samoa. All y'all's colonies that you don't call colonies for whatever reason. Anyway, continue.
No, it was just It was just me going down that rabbit hole, basically hearing that, hey, arguments in favor of Puerto Rico becoming a 51st state. This is a place that should be a 51st state because we shouldn't have colonies, and we should be helping the poor in there, raise themselves up. That is a thing that we should be doing, and yet we don't. Arguments in favor of independence. Hey,
you know what? Providing people with human rights is a thing that's going to come up later in Twit tweets as well.
Wild.
Yeah. Human rights are a good thing. That's a hot take, apparently. And hey, while we're providing these human rights, let's let them have some representation.
No, never.
Okay. All right, this one's a little bit more lighthearted. So Lilith posted that meme where if atheism is a religion, then bald is a hair color, sort of thing. So Eric says, bald isn't a color, it's a hairstyle with no hair. Atheism isn't a godless void, it's a religion with no god. Checkmate, atheists. You're a religion too, and religion is bad.
There are atheistic religions, but that doesn't make atheism a religion.
No, atheism is just, I'm not convinced. Like, you say God exists. I'm not convinced that God exists. That's all it is.
Actually, the word we use to describe that would be agnostic, classically.
Fuck
and that's not...
your face. Fuck your fucking face. That's bullshit. That's like fucking debate me, bro. Bullshit. Like the whole like.
Shitty Bob says theism is a religion. No, it's not. No, theism is a belief in God. That does not mean that you have a religion.
Yeah, no, I fucking hate that discussion where like it like, yes, technically speaking, if you're in a philosophical debate setting, the atheist has the burden of proof if they are saying that no gods exist. Sure, fine. Do you know how often that's relevant? 0.01% of the time, or something close to that. In most cases, in regular everyday conversation, you know who has the burden of proof? Not necessarily the person making the claim, the person who actually cares whether or not the person you're talking to changes their mind. In most cases, the atheist doesn't care whether or not you stay a Christian at the end of the conversation. They're just like, yeah, no, I just don't believe in your God. But the Christian is trying to convert people. So yes, the Christian has the burden of proof. So atheism is the nothing statement. Atheism is the, like, yeah, you're trying to prove to me that your God exists, but like, your stuff doesn't make sense, man. So I'm just an atheist.
Shitty Bob says is being hyperbolic. Okay, fair. But I'm, generally speaking, if I'm going to take umbrage when Eric Hovind says dumb shit about me and my lack of faith, I'm going to take the same umbrage when people on my side say stupid shit too. But Dragonix says calling atheism a religion shows you don't know what the word religion means. Well, yeah, duh. Like, where are the practices? Where are the meetings?
They are saying that in order to disparage atheism, because they recognize that religion is inherently not a great way of determining truth.
They have to call atheism a religion as well.
Yeah. Because if atheism is just a religion, it can be dismissed, because religions can just be dismissed.
It's unironically, the idiot brings you down to their level instead of having a conversation at yours.
Mm-hmm.
So they can beat you with experience.
Yeah.
What does atheism give you? What moral structure does it give you? Well, it doesn't. It doesn't have to.
Well, I mean, but you could answer that. Like, it gives me humanism. And humanism doesn't is far superior to Christianity in my mind.
Humanism doesn't necessarily stem from atheism,
It doesn't necessarily stem from atheism, but it can stem from atheism. You can arrive at humanist conclusions with atheism as a starting point.
I feel like you can arrive at humanist conclusions with Christianity as a starting point, too.
You can, which is the great thing about humanism. Humanism just says, hey, let's make life good for as many people as possible. Because as far as we can tell, this is the only one we got. And yes, you can get there from a Christian perspective. And even then, it's like we're saying, oh yeah, we want eternal salvation and we want eternal paradise or whatever, but this life is still worth living and we should make it as good as possible for as many people as possible. But like, you can get to humanism from atheism. But for some reason, the apologists just refuse to acknowledge the existence of any moral standard that isn't the one that they pre-approved. Like they ignore centuries of moral philosophy just to say, yeah, but my God's the source of morality, and in order to have anything be moral or immoral, you have to borrow from that. Even though I will turn around and borrow from utilitarianism when you ask me about the genocides in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
But humanism is borrowing morality from Gay Unicorn Gary, who, remember, Gay Unicorn Gary has placed within everyone a desire to participate in a gay orgy. And if you don't have that desire, if you refuse to acknowledge that desire, then that is just you suppressing that in your unrighteousness. Praise be Gay Unicorn Gary. At merch.vicerhino.com.
Why do you need threats of punishment to not hurt people?
Gay Unicorn Gary doesn't, like, the gay orgy thing is irrelevant in the larger scale of things to Gary.
Mm-hmm.
Gary is humanist. It's just that gay orgies are fun, so let's do it.
Duct Tape Jake says, gotta be clear, I'm apparently suppressing that desire.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
suppressed.
personally, I wouldn't go for the gay orgy. I'd go for the everybody orgy.
I'll take the everybody orgy. Like, it's... I don't have any want to have sex with men, but I'll gladly have sex with a woman while 5 other men are having sex with her too.
Does this hole
That
belong
can be
to
fun.
a guy or a girl? Who cares? It's a hole.
Yeah, you're an any hole's a goal type of person.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Any hole's a goal.
Whereas for me, my group sex experiences have been, yeah, it's fun spit roasting.
I'm Ace, so Gay Unicorn Gary never made me a desire. No, you are just denying that desire in your unrighteousness.
In your unrighteousness.
You just desire to sin by not having the gay orgy. I don't know, man. I'm just turning Christian. No, Gary is turning Christian stuff back on the. Oh, I don't know. Whatever the fuck.
You don't know whatever the fuck?
I don't know. Whatever the fuck. Talk to Gary. He knows. Okay, moving on. John
Yay.
Fetterman. Yay. Says, it's a sad day for our nation. Our government shuts down at midnight. I voted aye to just say yes, you fucking pretentious shit. I voted aye to extend the ACA tax credits because I support them, but I won't vote for the chaos of shuttering our government. Yeah,
Just
okay.
fucking let the shutdown happen this time.
Fun
Instead of letting
fact.
Schumer vote the other way.
Fun fact. The Republicans are in charge of all 3 branches of government. If they can't keep it open, that's on them. So this isn't about being bipartisan and finding a better way forward together. It's not about voting with your country over your party. It's about the people in charge are inept as fuck. And like, if you are willing to sacrifice your constituents' health care on the altar of bipartisanship, then you're not bipartisan. You're just anti your constituents.
Remember, you are also sacrificing veterans' health care, but we are going to make sure that during the shutdown, we are working on that ballroom. President Trump's ballroom will go through even through the shutdown. Isn't that great? Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, because they're essential employees. It's essential to build a ballroom for the White House.
Exactly. Why would you not want to build the ballroom?
You guys' government is bullshit.
Are you saying that you don't believe in the American ballroom?
Correct.
How fucking dare you?
I think the ballroom should be the absolute lowest priority right now.
And honestly, the thought of a bug who thinks offends me.
Okay, well, don't play Hollow Knight then.
I find the thought of a bug who thinks offensive.
Okay. Next up, Jack
Yay!
Posobiec. This is where Creed comes back. Says, sure would be a shame if TPUSA hosted a counter Super Bowl halftime show with Creed. Like, okay.
Wait.
I say this as someone who was a massive Creed fan in high school and still occasionally listens to their music. But the only, like, I've only started to come back around on their music recently because Scott Stapp has like actually been public about having bipolar disorder and getting treatment and not being an abusive piece of shit to his wives anymore. Because like it used to be when I heard his voice, it was like, no, that guy beats his wife. I can't listen to this and enjoy it. But like he seems to be like actually on the path to like getting treatment that he needs. So like as someone who still listens to some Creed song, like I have a guitar behind me, I could bust it out. I don't even know what it's tuned to. I guarantee you, whatever it's tuned to, I can play a Creed song that is in that tuning.
Yeah.
Don't do the halftime show with Creed. They did it back in like 2003 or some shit. And I actually got pissed off at that one because they were very clearly lip syncing. Because it was a medley of 3 of their songs, and because I can play all their songs, I knew that all 3 of the songs were in different tunings. And it's not just like one of those like I can make it work in a different tuning. It's like, no, it is impossible to play that song in the tuning of this other song. And then there were other, like Scott Stapp had the microphone like hang him down by his side when he started singing. It was like, okay, they're clearly lip syncing. So like I was. And I get that it's the Super Bowl, so everybody fucking does that. Yeah, that's not special to them, but it was still disappointing to me as a Creed fan. Duct Tape Jake says that's just a concert. Yeah, I know, I get it. I get it now, but like at the time, I was disappointed in them. But you mean the Super Bowl halftime show that they do with Creed is just going to be a concert? Okay, fine. And honestly, I've actually been purposely ignoring any news whatsoever about anything to do with their personal lives because I know that like there's footage of them before they go out to concert. They like huddle together in prayer before they go out to their concert. So I'm like, I know they're Christian. I know and they actually believe that shit. So like, there's a non-zero chance that they're MAGA. And I don't want to know because I want to still be able to enjoy the music. So like it's possible that if TPUSA did put on a counter Super Bowl halftime show, Creed would show up and then I'd never be able to listen to them again. And I would be sad. And I would still play them on my guitar. But it's just sad that these people think that they can compete with the actual fucking halftime show.
It makes sense, though. They think that anything that is controversial automatically means that it's not going to be popular.
But the real question is, Cirrus, can you take me higher?
No.
To a place where blind men see.
No.
Yeah. Did you know there was a Creed-themed cruise that you could go on?
There's a what?
That was the thing you could do for a little while. I think that was like one of the first things they did after they got back together. So like they split up in the early 2000s when the guys from Creed formed Alter Bridge, and then there was a brief period of time where they like. It's like for the longest time they were like, oh no, we're never getting back together as Creed. That's just never going to happen. And then they got together again and released another album. And then they kind of split up again and didn't do anything for a few years. And then out of nowhere, they were like, yeah, no, you can sign up for the Creed cruise and come on a Creed themed cruise. And we're going to do concerts on this cruise. And it was just like, oh, that's kind of cringy.
You know, in January, there's going to be a Magic the Gathering cruise.
I have met most of the members of the band of Creed. I have a guitar signed by most of them.
Stop says Creed is incredibly mid. I
Yeah,
don't
but I
have
was-
much of an opinion on Creed.
So this is where my my 90s kid hat is going on. We're going to take off my Sherlock hat, put on my 90s kid hat, which I don't actually have, so I'm just going to no, there was so my thing was that Creed was very much focused on commercial success.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you look at the stuff they did with Alter Bridge, the guitar stuff specifically, Tremonti started doing much more complex stuff with Alter Bridge than he did with Creed, because Creed, he was very focused on commercial stuff. And so like the solos were not all that interesting, and it was fairly simple melody wise or whatever, because it needs to be commercially viable. Whereas Alter Bridge was kind of there, like, let's just fucking let loose and do what we want to do.
Yeah.
And so it was much better. And like the first album, half the songs for that were written for Creed, and then Scott Stapp had his mental breakdown. Jester says, of course they are mid. Christian band means mid. Yeah, no, this is where I will like, no, they were not a Christian band. They were a band that happened to be Christian. And they use Christian imagery in their songs, but they were not a Christian band. But anyway.
There is a difference.
There is a difference. And I don't need to get into this, because
you've gone down the rabbit hole already.
I'm already too far in. I'm already too far in. Whatever.
Yeah, we're like, I'm in the smile and nod part of the stream.
I'm like, if this plant wasn't in the way, I'd pick up my guitar and start playing some Creed songs now.
Like, there's nothing wrong with me being in smile and nod mode. It's the easiest part of the stream for me. I just also want it to be known I'm in smile and nod mode.
Their name is Creed. Shut up, Duct Tape Jape. Okay, the name Creed came from... Scott Stapp was abused as a child. His father was a pastor, and he like forced him to read Bible verses as a punishment all the time. Here. And that's why all their music was like... No, I'm just gonna... No. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't actually like them anymore, okay? I'm still kind of... But if they perform at TPUSA, absolutely not. I will, like, that'll be a boycott. Actually, no, it won't be a boycott. It'll probably be an accidental boycott, because, like, same thing with, like, when it came out that Scott Stapp was abusing his partners. It wasn't that I stopped listening because I was actively boycotting. It was that hearing his voice was like, oh, that's a wife beater. And I don't like thinking of wife beaters. So I'm just not going to listen to that voice anymore.
Yeah, they're only really attractive on women.
Sure. I forget where I was even going with that. Anyway, next tweet.
Yay!
Frank Turek says, what is the meaning of life? Ken replies with, to glorify God and enjoy him forever. That's such a banal, boring, why would you want that to be your meaning? Like, I would much rather my meaning of life be to make life better for other people.
My meaning for life is enjoying myself and making the other people around me also enjoy themselves, which is why I play a copious amount of Magic the Gathering.
Fennec says 42, obviously. Fennec, you're wrong. 42 is the answer to life, not the meaning of life. Everybody makes that mistake, but it is a mistake. It is the answer to life, the universe, and everything, not the meaning of life, the universe, and everything.
Hey, Rhino, you know what's wild?
What?
I only played one game of Magic the Gathering at the Magic the Gathering convention.
I played with my kids the other day.
I spent...
fucking trounced them.
Die, potatoes!
Well, that's the thing.
No.
So, okay, I don't know what happened, but I have... Fennec is spanking us again.
Fucking pronouns!
Oh, no, that's the wrong button.
You've been a bad girl.
The right button.
Fucking pronouns is always the right button. Yeah, no, I have the Sauron deck, but it's missing a bunch of cards. So I had to play with my my what's-her-face deck again.
Oh, Emeria?
Yeah, that one. And so I didn't get Scoot Swarm up. My kids are obsessed with Scoot Swarm. They don't seem to realize that like my whole deck is built around minions.
Yeah, Scoot Swarm just happens to be one of the strongest ones.
So like the whole time they're like, oh, if Papa gets Scoot Swarm, we're gonna be screwed. I'm like, I'm probably not going to get Scoot Swarm because we don't get halfway through the deck, and there's a 50% chance it's on the bottom side of the deck. But I have like 7 2/2 cat beasts, and I have like 15 1/1 white soldiers with a bunch of counters on them that make them 7/7 creatures or whatever. So like I'm just gonna fucking steamroll you guys eventually. And I was trying to go easy on them, but one of my other kids had one that was like at the end, like as long as this card is on the field, everybody has to attack someone.
Oh yeah, Carter.
I don't remember what it was. I don't think it was that one. But like that was one of the effects, is that you have to attack on your turn. I'm like, I'm sorry. You're just dead now because you forced me to attack.
Yeah.
Justice says, ew, a Scoot player. Blame Cirrus. He's the one that gave me the card.
Yep. I have learned that there's a path that all Commander players take. When they are learning the game, they get stronger and more powerful cards. And then once they've gotten to a point where they go, okay, I've played with the strong and powerful cards. Now I'm okay scaling my decks down because I know what it's like to play with power, and I know exactly how much of it that I actually want to play with. But step one on that is always letting those players play with whatever the hell. I actively don't put Scoot Swarm in the majority of my decks that could use it because I think it's too powerful. But I know a billion other ways to win because I play this game too goddamn much. I can get creative with my wins because I play this game too goddamn much. Yeah. Although I did think about taking one of my extra copies of Emeria and getting it signed and sending it to you, because the artist behind Emeria was actually at the convention.
I would have enjoyed that, but I'm very bad at signed things. Like, I have a guitar that is signed by most of the members of Creed. It's sitting in my garage right now and is probably ruined because of humidity or something, because I'm just bad at that sort of thing.
I mean, you would just put it as the commander in your deck. Like, your commander's the signed card.
Sure.
That's what I do with my signed cards. They don't go in like a binder or anything. I only get cards that I use signed.
While we're talking about Magic, you can entertain them for a while. I'm going pee.
Oh, okay, cool. Let me just go ahead and let you guys know, when Vice Rhino pees, it first hangs a little to the left, and he's got to adjust it a bit. And then once he gets that fixed, then he's able to actually let loose. But like 30% of it ends up on the fucking rim, and I don't know how he manages that. It's always exactly 30%. It's like the Fibonacci sequence. It's mathematically interesting, but it's like existentially terrifying. Honestly, I don't get it. But, I mean, his wiener, not mine. I'm not going to judge exactly what he does with it. Shitty Bob says, I used to play back at Invasion, dipping my toes back in, but all I've got right now is precons. There's nothing wrong with playing precons. Precons are fine. I play a lot of... I do a lot of shit with precons. Precons are good. Sirius, don't you be talking about Rhino peeing when you take a half hour to poop. You're right, Naki. But the reason that I can criticize the way Vice Rhino pees is because of how much time that I do spend pooping. You don't understand. I am a toilet aficionado. And it's because of that, a toilet aficionado, that I am able to critique other people in how they utilize their toilets. Sirius has IBS. Yeah, probably. I probably do have irritable bastard syndrome. Naki says precons are awesome as a basic deck to modify. I mean, they're awesome as more than just that, though. Like, a lot of precons are these days are just really, really powerful. They're just generally very, very strong. Sean says, I play Hearthstone for a reason. People, my decks are free. Not after what Blizzard had to get to gain access to your soul. Hi, Rhino.
Hi.
Hi. I only spent a minimal amount of time narrating your piss.
Okay.
Everybody in chat now,
It was wet.
They know that 30% of your piss makes it onto the toilet seat. Exactly 30% of it every time.
Yeah, but I clean up after it.
Yeah, but they know that it lands there. So they
Yeah,
know that your aim is always 30% off, which is reliably unreliable.
It's not about the aim, it's about the watering can effect.
It's not always about the money, Spider-Man.
I don't know why that quote would be relevant. Anyway, next tweet. Lobo says, what do Hamas and the Democrats have in common? They like to hold Americans hostage and try to get what they want. Get it? Because of the shutdown that the Republicans are 100% responsible for? Because they're the ones in charge of all branches of government right now?
Yay. So happy.
Yes, and somehow that's the Democrats' fault?
I love everything always being the fault of the left. Even though the Democrats aren't really the left, the centrists, I guess, in this case. Wild.
Oh, did you see, what's his face? There was a guy running for governor who, when it came out that he follows a bunch of like trans porn creators on Twitter because he's running as a Republican, as soon as that came out, he dropped out of the race. And then everybody was responding to the tweets posting about it, being like, oh, he was actually a leftist. He was a registered Republican. How could he be a leftist?
Liking women with dicks does not make you leftist. It just makes you based.
And the fact that you're embarrassed about that, like embarrassed enough to actually change your career path about that, is just showing that you're weak.
Just shows you're a pussy.
No, pussies are strong. It shows you're weak. You're a dick. Because dicks are weak.
Am I going to have to pull up the definition now?
Of dick?
No. Pusillanimous.
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 You're a pusillanimous.
You're pusillanimous.
Exactly. Probably.
Also probably.
As Real says, I'm still trying to figure out how to fill out an app for Trantifa.
Lauren Boebert, number 2. Retweeting Congresswoman Sarah McBride. So McBride pointed out that they left the floor because like they arrived, they tried to put stuff up that was like, hey, we could keep the government open and fund things. And the Republicans were like, nope, gavel, we're closing, we're stopping. Don't do it. No, you can't put things out. Like, nope, we're just done. Basically ran away with their tails between their legs. And Sarah McBride was pointing that out. To which Lauren Boebert says, so says the king of spins. Y'all voted to shut down the government last week. Nice try, bro. Which, when I first read this, I read the bro as the same as my kid. Being like, bro. But now that I'm reading King of Spins and realizing that Sarah McBride is the one trans rep, this is just her trying to misgender her.
Yep.
I didn't realize. When I took the screenshot, I did not realize that it was as toxic as it is. Yes, also fuck Sarah McBride for being a spineless coward. I agree with that. But also fuck Lauren Boebert for misgendering Sarah McBride.
Yep. We do not hold your gender hostage based on how good of a two-shoes you are.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Sarah McBride as the first trans... Is she the first trans woman in Congress?
I believe so.
Yeah, so not a fan of her as the first. There are other people that would have been better firsts. But that doesn't mean you misgender her. And that's actually one of the things where, like, I remember I made a video a while ago where I purposely referred to God as she. And the biggest pushback I got from that was not from offended Christians. It was from people being like, hey, we don't actually misgender people as an I told you so sort of thing. That's not cool. That's not actually being a trans ally. That's just being a dick.
My response to that personally is that I don't care to be policed by the people I am trying to protect
So
when
that
I am
was-
using a weapon you object to.
So that's the thing that was like, it was not a like, all of it was basic, like it was good faith, like, hey, in the future this is how we feel about that, so please be more aware of that. It wasn't a you shouldn't do that or we're going to cancel you sort of thing. Like, when I say that they were offended by, I'm not being like, there wasn't like some uproar meant to cancel me or whatever. It was actually very polite, but it didn't trigger the Christians. It was the people who are most sensitive to misgendering that were like, hey, that's actually not cool.
I can understand the perspective. I can just also recognize that I think it is a perspective with not a ton of use, personally. Like, I'm sorry, if somebody is frequently misgendering my partner, and I misgender them back, and it's going to take a lot longer for that to affect them. But if they start to get agitated at all for it, then I'm okay. If it's a tool that they decided they were willing to use, then it is a tool that I am willing to use as well. I'm done playing by the stupid fucking rule in general.
So I would say that's probably a different situation, because I was doing it to Christians in general rather than specifically someone who does misgender people. Then
So
there's
more of a
case against
misapplication of
what
a
I was
tool.
doing.
I guess more of just a misapplication of a tool at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
And
I-
like
I'm
I said,
going-
the corrections were all very respectful and
Like, well-meaning.
Hey, your heart's in the right place, but please don't.
Yeah, I can understand that. I'm still gonna hold fast in my thing that if there is a tool that the enemy is utilizing, I am also going to utilize it, because I am tired of playing by a different set of fucking rules, because it hasn't worked.
I mean, Jesse Waters said to bomb the UN, so let's bomb Fox. That's a joke. Haha, funny, funny. And it's not a problem because Jesse Waters said it's not a problem, right?
Stop says God's a bitch.
God is a bitch. That's a gender neutral term.
It's a gender neutral term, but I've gotten people angry at me for using it as well.
Yeah, but God is a bitch.
And I'm just like, look, I'm sorry. I'm done playing the game that way. Playing the game that way is dumb. It just took a very long time to realize it was dumb.
Okay, moving on. Sherry says, to all leftists trolling my posts, illegals do
Who is
access...
Sherry?
Probably not. Illegals do access our hospitals and healthcare systems. They can't pay their bills. Hospitals then get reimbursed by the federal government. That's our tax dollars footing the bill. Free medical care for illegals, courtesy of you and me. Couple
Okay.
things. First off, healthcare is a human right, so I don't fucking care. That's fine. Secondly, the thing that the Republicans are saying is that the illegal immigrants are using the American Health Care Act, or ACA, whatever the fuck it's called, Obamacare, that they're using that
The Affordable Care Act.
get money. There's a big difference between I am getting insurance through the government and I'm not getting any insurance. My life is being ruined financially, but I also didn't pay the hospital, so they had to get reimbursed from the government. Those are very different statements. And one of those is not being made by the people in charge right now.
Did gaff the government paying for healthcare? Perish the thought. I know, weird, right? Also, Jay Rodimus, I didn't catch this 6 minutes ago. I apologize. Thank you for resubscribing. Said 4 years. Let's go. Honored to have been a subscriber for so long. Your content legitimately keeps me, or guides me in times like these. Keep being you. I am scared about the trajectory of your life if my content guides you.
I have a confession. I'm
Yeah?
still subscribed to you on Twitch, but only because I haven't figured out how to not be anymore.
I have a confession.
You're still my patron?
I'm still a patron of yours, despite the fact that the Discord it gave me access to doesn't mean shit.
Oh, God. So really, we are just, like, because I am your subscriber and you're my patron, we are essentially just transferring money around and to only benefit the companies that take a percentage of the transaction.
Correct.
Yay! Yay, capitalism.
It makes me super happy, especially, considering that Patreon dropped my funding down. A thing that they said they weren't going to do.
You can cancel me anytime you want, man.
Oh, okay.
I will give
guys,
you whatever I give my patrons.
Do you
for free.
know the offensive shit that Vice Rhino said in our private chats? Here, allow me to leak them for you so that you can give him social ramifications for everyking.
I'll fucking say it.
Oh, you said to cancel you though, so I'm trying.
No, I'm just gonna come right out and admit it. Like, I said that we can advocate for acts of violence overtly now because we're officially terrorists.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say that you can dance if we want to.
I mean,
you can leave your friends behind.
You can dance all you want, but I ain't doing shit. I have okay.
Don't leak the group chat. Says Jay.
There's nothing to leak. We do have a group chat where we have an agreement that nobody takes screenshots or anything without explicit permission from everybody in the group. But that's just more of a we can feel safe. Say if I say something off the top of my head and it turns out I was wrong, that's more of a your friends can be like, hey, that was kind of dumb. Don't say that. So it's more of a protection against because we all know we mean well. Whereas if it's something that gets out there publicly, it might not necessarily come across the same way.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I was getting at with the dancing thing is that my partner and I are going to it's a club night for old people, basically. It's called In Bed by 10. And it's coming to our area on October 18th. And it's basically you go to a club and the doors open at 4 p.m. and it closes at 9 p.m. so you can get home and in bed by 10 p.m. So it's for old people or whatever, and it's going to be playing music from the 90s and early 2000s and stuff. And Heidi is super excited for this because she wants to go dancing and stuff, and I'm just like, I don't know. What is this dancing of which you speak? I don't know how to do that.
I used to do swing dancing.
So that's the thing. She's from the Caribbean. So for her, dancing is basically, I just have to she's going to be twerking on my lap while I just go ha 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 into her butt or whatever.
Yeah, it's because you're white.
Yeah, but it's
dance like a white guy.
It's apparently called whining. Not like whining as in oh, I'm whining about it. It's it's actually a thing or whatever. I don't know, but and I've had conversations about this. Apparently, this is a thing that you are supposed to be able to do with girls that you don't know and not get an erection. And I'm just but you're grinding your bottom into my crotch. How am I not supposed to get excited about that?
That's erection central.
And Jess is the fuck is going on? I'm so confused. I'm learning about Caribbean dance culture is what's going on. And it is not going well because I am white as fuck. White plus grinding. No, that's not where that comes from, but I like where your head's at. That's what I'm going to be doing. No, there's a song she listens to. It's whining, let me see you whining, or whatever. I don't know. It's Caribbean music. They're not going to be playing Caribbean music probably there, but that's how she dances. So I'm going to have fun learning that in public.
Well, you can dance if you want to, and you can leave your friends behind.
I'd have to have friends first.
Hello, I am friend.
Yeah, but you're not going to be at the club with me.
I could be.
You want to? Sure. You want to come up? It's October 18th.
I don't think I'm going to make it.
No? Okay.
I can do my best.
But
Magical
Cat Girl says, Rhino, we can fix that with scissors. I don't know what you're talking about scissoring, but scissoring is fun. So sure. Scissoring fixes everything is what I heard there. Okay. Next tweet. Dr. Taylor Marshall says Pope Leo XIV said that if you support the death penalty, then you are not pro-life. That means that Moses and part of the Pentateuch are not pro-life. Correct.
Yeah.
That is accurate. Then he says,
That's
it means dozens
fine.
of popes were not pro-life. Correct. That is accurate. And we're heretics. I have less of an opinion on that because heresy, in order to care about heresy, I'd have to care about orthodoxy, and I don't actually care. So yeah, lots of popes weren't pro-life. Moses and parts of the Pentateuch, not pro-life. That is accurate.
Wild how much I don't care about that.
Pope Bob is correct. And I'm going to go out on a limb here. I am not going to put Pope Bob on a pedestal because I am just starting with the assumption that because Pope Bob is the Pope of the Catholic Church, he is probably covering up child sexual abuse somewhere. Because he's a pope. And that's what popes do. So the fact that he said a good thing does
Doesn't
not
really
actually
mean a whole lot.
assuage that feeling of mine.
Yeah.
So yeah, Pope Bob is probably still gross, but he said something slightly progressive. Slightly more progressive than the last pope did. And the last pope was supposed to be the progressive pope. So that...
All my homies hate the Pope.
Fennec's asking about Bob. Bob is his given name, Robert or whatever. The name that he took was Leo, but his actual name is Bob or Robert. So Pope Bob. I like Pope
Robert.
Bob. Pope Bob from Chicago.
Robert.
Bob.
I owe you
It's
my
Bob.
life, Robert.
It's Pope Bob. Come on. Tell me you don't want to be talking about Pope Bob.
I would like more about Pope Bob if he's got a little shrimp guy with elongated legs named Marcus, just saying random shit to him the entire time.
Thoughts on dead naming a pope? I don't think it counts as dead naming. But I also think Pope Bob just sounds funny. So I'm just going to go with it. Okay. And that was the last tweet, actually. So yeah.
Whoa!
We done.
And what about Bob? Oh, as like his tattoo, DePlane Boss DePlane. Yeah, the Rapture got moved to October 8th because of some Julian calendar shit. Oh, yeah.
Okay, what's that have to do with the plane thing?
I don't know. I'm just reading my chat.
I mean, the plane thing was clearly a Pleasure Island reference. The plane!
I mean, I know that, like, that ended up being a plot point in the South Park episode because J.D. Vance was Tattoo.
Yeah, there was a reference to that. We need Pope Gary. We have Pope Gary right here.
Is he a gay unicorn?
He's a gay unicorn. He's trans, too, canonically.
Mm.
And this is, believe it or not, this is something
whoa.
we have actually adjudicated, is when, if you care to draw gay unicorn Gary, canonically, he does have a penis, but he also can still have a vagina.
He's a futanari.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I am familiar with that word. Olivia Williams for 279 says the Pope supports dead naming. Okay. That tracks.
That response was perfect. Yes, I am familiar with that word.
I do. It did not occur to me to use that in reference to Gary, but yes, I am familiar with what that word means. And you know what? Surprisingly, some of the special effects that are used for that type of content is actually very well done.
It's just watch hentai where it happens and they just draw it.
I know, but the live action ones, sometimes it is very well done. It's just like, I'm actually not sure how they did. Like, I mean, sometimes it's obvious where it's like, okay, it's just a guy for these shots and not for those shots. But there are other times where it's like, oh, that's actually what, like, some special effects artist actually put their like passion into doing this, and I kind of love it.
Jesus. Okay.
Yep, that is correct. Senator Rafael Cruz also supports dead naming, because he is explicitly on record saying we do not go by people's preferred names, we go by their legal names, and his legal name is Raphael. So he is not Ted, he's Raphael, because that's his own policy.
Hip hip hooray.
Yay. Okay. Well, are you going to keep streaming after this?
Yeah, I'm going to pause to make dinner real quick, and then I'll be good, too.
Okay, so I will raid you while you're paused then. So, thanks for watching, everybody, and as always, fuck off. Oh, that's not the right button.